Hello friends, hope you all are doing great. This is Shubham and welcome to my YouTube channel Code with Crazy. So in today's session, we are going to discuss about the primary key constraint. While discussing about the primary constraint, I will explain that how we can set up a primary key for a particular column of a table at the time of the creation of table. So these all things we are going to discuss in this session. Before watching of my this session, please give a look for my previous sessions where I discuss about the basic concept of the SQL. Also, I discuss that how we can perform the practical operations on the table and database. So these all things which can make a sense for get a better understanding for our upcoming sessions. So let's see for today's session. So while discussing about the primary key is uniquely identifies each record in a table. Primary key must contain unique values and cannot contain null values. A table can have only one primary key, and in the table, this primary key can consist of a single or multiple columns or field. So in a simple way, we can say that the primary key is used for to the uniquely identify the each row from the table. The primary key is nothing but a combination of both the unique and not null values. And the most important thing is that our table can have only one primary key, and also by with the help of the composite key operations we can set a primary key for the two columns. I will explain about this composite key operation in upcoming sessions where you will get the brief idea and the practical demonstration by performing the practical operations. While discussing about the primary key, we have to always remember that while acting on any particular query, we need for a syntax. So here you can see that here we can how we can demonstrate the primary key syntax at the time of the creation of table. So you can see that my statement is started with the create table keyword. After that, here I am specifying one specific table name as according to my requirements, or you can also take as according to you. And inside the set of parentheses here the first column contain the column 1. After that, here I taken the data types which is associated with my specific column, that is column 1. And after that, here I specify the not null and primary key. I know, like, while performing the operations on the primary key, always my column must be contain the not null values, because I can't insert the null values for my primary key columns, because as according to the rules that the primary key is a combination of both the unique and not null values. So that's why we can't set null values for the primary key columns. Also here, as according to the requirements, you can take the any number of columns, and along with their it must be important that we have to associate data types along with our columns, because based on these data types we can get idea that which kind of data we have to insert while performing the operation, or inserting the records in the columns. So these all things we have to always remember while performing the operations on a particular table. So at the end, here you can see that I terminated my statement with the help of this semicolon. So this is not a mandatory thing, we have to set up a semicolon at the end while performing the any particular statement operation in SMS server. But there is a my SQL server and the Oracle server. This is the mandatory thing that we always need to perform the semicolon at the end of the any statement, which can be make a sense for the conclude or the termination of that particular statement. So for the performing the practical operations, we will see the how we can set a primary key for the columns, and based on that how we can create a table. So these all things I will discuss in SQL server by performing the practical operations. So let's see in a SQL server. So here I will explain that how first I will explain that how we can create a table, then how we can set a primary key for a specific column. So here first I will select one demo database which is I created previously. So I am going to do all the operation in my database. So here I am explaining by with the help of the one example of the users table, where my users table contain the ID, name, and salary column. So I will explain here how we can set a primary key for that particular column. So here you can see that here my statement is started with the create table keyword. After that, here I specify one specific table name, that is user, and here inside the set of parentheses I taken the column names along with the data types. So here my ID column contain the integer data types, name column contain the varchar data types, and salary column contain the varchar data types. So here I specify my ID column as a primary key columns. Also I specify that my primary column contain does not contain any null value as according to the rules and nomination of the primary key column. So these are things we have to always remember while performing the any primary key constraint on a specific column of a table. Here I am apply the primary key for my ID column. So first let's I will execute these statements by selecting it. So after that I will click on this execute tab. So here at the end you can see that my command is completed successfully. So now I have to as according to this statement I apply the primary key for the my ID column. So as we already know that we can't add a duplicate records for the primary key column. Even my always we have to always remember that our primary key column must be contain unique record or unique value. So first I will insert the records like in my table by with the help of this whatever the columns and there along with their specific data types. So first I will insert a record for my table. Here I will specify the respective table name, so it can make a sense like for which column I am going to add a values. After that I am going to use values clause. So here inside this set of parentheses I am going to add the values for my specific columns like whatever the columns I have taken here. So based on these columns I am going to take respective values. So first for the ID column I will take one. Then after that I will add the name of that particular user. So consider username is Shubham. And after that I am going to add salary here, like which can make a sense that a value. So after that here you can see that here I am inserting the first value like as we already know our one set of parentheses contain the one row for a table. So after that here also I am adding to adding insert to second row of value. So first I will add the second row of value. So here I am going to insert like a two set of parentheses like two set of rows for my user table. So first I will select this statement and after that I will click on this execute tab. So here you can see that my two rows are affected successfully. Now I have to see like what are the records I have inserted. Like does these records are successfully inserted in my specific table or not. So for that I am going to use select statement. Here I will select this whole statement. After that I will click on this execute tab. So here you can see that whatever the records are inserted in this particular table, all records are get inserted. Now I have to see like here I specify my ID column must be contain the primary key value. So now I have to check like does it work as according to their rules or nomination or not. Does my primary key contain only unique values or it's allow for the duplicates. So here what I will do first I will copy this statement. After the copying this statement and paste here, and after that I am going to add like for this first row I am going to add same ID column value that one, and here I will change the values I will add the RAM, and after that here I am going to specify some salary for that particular person. So here you can see now I am going to execute this statement, so it will give me some violation error. Yeah, here you can see that the violation of the primary key constraint and cannot insert the duplicate key in object dvo.users. The duplicate key value is 1. So here you can see that as I already mentioned that my ID column content must be unique values, that is here I already specify one for that ID column. Here I can't take here I again can't specify that one for that ID column because my ID column does not contain duplicates. So this that is a important thing we have to always remember that our ID column does not contain any duplicacy. So after that I am going to add null value for this ID column. So I have to see like if I add the null value for my specific column like which I specify as a primary key constraint. So does it make any sense like does it giving any error for that or not? So I will see here. because as we already know that our like whatever the columns we have specified as a primary key columns, the our column can't contain the any duplicates record, or it does not contain any null values. So first I will specify your null, so I have to see like uh, does its work as according to the rules or not. So here I am going to insert a record. Here I inserted the null values for my primary key column. So now I am going to select this statement, and after that I will click on this execute tab. So here you can see that it's showing the one error that cannot insert the value null into a column ID table. Column does not allow the nulls. So this is that is the thing that here I specified my ID column as the primary key constraint, and as we already know that our primary key column does not contain any null values. So this is main things we have to always remember, that like whatever the rules are there while performing the operation as a primary key constraint for a specific column of a table. So on that time some mandatory things we have to remember. So based on those things we can always able to like whatever the productivity or whatever the efficiency of our particular statement we can increase by with the help of that. So here I will like first I will show you like what are the records I inserted. Those all records are are efficiently added in my particular table or not. So here I will select this statement. After that I will click on this execute tab. So here you can see that the as I previously in first time whatever the records I inserted in my in my table based on the respective columns and their data types. So all the records are get inserted, even whatever if even I try to insert the duplicate records, but my specific primary key columns does not allow for the duplicates. Even they can't allow for the null values. Here I try to add those values. So this is actual thing that while working on the primary key constraint, it can't allow for the any duplicates records, or it can't allow for the null values. So let's see for the next slide. So we have to always remember some key points while performing the operation on the primary key. Here I will show that our primary key enforces the integrity for our tables. Like it provides one type of the entity integrity for our table. Like here we are going to create a primary key for a specific column of a table. Also our as we already performed by applying the practical demonstration, that our primary key does not contain any duplicate records. It's always allow for the unique data. Also, our primary key length cannot exceed than 900 bytes. Also, primary key does not contain any null value. Here, these things also we specify we perform by performing the practical operations. Also, there cannot duplicate values for a primary key columns. Here, here we also explain this thing by performing the practical demonstration. I hope you got the better understanding. The table can contain the only one primary key constraint. So this is the main thing, like our table only one primary key, because when we are going to create a primary key for a specific column, so on that time it's a making a sense that we can't add any duplicates, and we can't add the null values. So based on this thing we have to always remember that our primary key like whatever the table is there, the table must be having the only one primary key. So I hope you got the better understanding in this session by performing the practical operations and demonstrations. What are the things we have explained here? I hope it can make a sense to get a better understanding that how they perform the operations of the primary key and all things. So thanks for watching my this video. Show your support by liking this video and subscribe to our channel and turning on notification for more upcoming updates. So thank you so much. Bye bye.